So it seems as though lately, every other day, we've been getting a Nintendo Switch 2 leak, and this time we're getting a leak regarding the Joy-Cons. Obviously, I haven't been covering every single leak here on the channel, just because there's been a lot, and some of them has been a little bit more kind of smaller stuff, or things that seemed a little bit more kind of uncertain, things like that. But as we approach the official, reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2, which is supposed to take place before the end of the fiscal year, which is before the end of March 2025, which we mentioned previously, that was officially announced by Nintendo. Obviously, we're all very, very hyped. And at this point, it feels like the entire Nintendo Switch 2 potentially has leaked. We don't know. We don't know if any, how much of this is really true, real, whatever. Take it with a grain of salt. That said, if you do enjoy Nintendo content, be sure to consider subscribing to the channel. We do a variety of Nintendo content when new games actually come out. Do a bunch of guides and walkthroughs and stuff to help you guys kind of figure out how to do different things in the games, and then of course cover all the gaming news in terms of the Nintendo stuff. Unboxings, whatever's Nintendo. I'm a huge Nintendo fan and I just love it. So let's go ahead and talk about one quick thing before we jump into this. One of the most recent things that did get leaked that is worth mentioning, since I didn't cover this in a different video, is sort of like this AI implementation. Now you might be like, whoa, AI, what are you talking about? No, this is more in terms of not, AI generated stuff, but more AI sort of, learning where it's kind of implemented with an upscaling sort of technology, which is going to allow the system to sort of, on the fly upscale to a higher resolution, at least with certain games. Again, some of these details are so kind of unsure, or some of them are vague with some of these leaks, that it gets kind of a little bit tricky to kind of, figure out what's what. But either way, there has been kind of, stuff about upscaling and different things like that, up to 4K resolution. Now that could be for, like current games maybe, because we do know that it's been officially revealed that this thing's going to be backwards compatible, Nintendo said. So maybe that's to kind of help bump up previous gen games, the current Nintendo Switch games, that is, for example, Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, et cetera, kind of bump those up to like that 4K resolution that's been rumored that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be able to handle and whatnot, if you will. So let's go ahead and talk about the Joy-Cons. This one came over on Reddit. Now this apparently, or I'm seeing it on Reddit anyways, this is coming from, first of all, it's coming from a Chinese forum that I think the actual images are coming from a Chinese production facility of some sort. People are saying, yeah, this is it. This is the new Joy-Con. So we'll take a look at it, and you guys will see. So I'll throw it on the screen. You guys can take a look what the image looks like, and it kind of falls in line with what has been rumored. Now here's the problem that I mentioned before with things like this, right? You might be like, wow, it looks so real. Yeah, but the problem is like, these are not really hard things to make, with 3D printing and things like that and whatnot as well. A lot of people can kind of fake these things, right? And we've had some things that were leaked that we don't know if it's true or not, based on what the new Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons were going to look like. And so that is possible. Nonetheless, it is also very possible that these things are real. And what I find interesting about this is that it sort of inverts the colors of the neon version of the original Joy-Cons on the launch Nintendo Switch, right? Where we had the kind of the blue, and then we had on the other Joy-Con it was the red. And what do I mean by invert? Well, I mean because on the inside it was black, and on the outside it was the color. But with these ones, for some reason, it's the opposite. On the inside it's blue, and on the outside it's the colors. Now that looks cool if you're playing it, like obviously with the Joy-Cons detached. Obviously, if the Joy-Cons are attached, then the thing's just going to look completely black. And again, you might be wondering, what is that big massive button on the back of the sort of like where the trigger would be? People are saying that's going to be the release. I don't know why it's so big though. Obviously the release button for the Joy-Cons on the current Switch are kind of small, so I can understand making them a little bit bigger, but these look huge. So I don't know. I'm not really sure, what's up with that, why those seem to be so massive. But they say, I guess maybe it's because it's like these Joy-Cons are rumored to be magnetic, that maybe that has something to do with it, why the button's so big. I guess, again, we'll see when Nintendo officially announces something. What I will say is that the SL and the SR buttons, if this is true, are definitely more sizable, which I think is very nice, because they're dinky. They're so small on the current Joy-Cons. They're kind of hard to push down. So I think these would be nice if it is true. You can't really see the front of this Joy-Con, but you can kind of see the stick itself, which looks similar but a little bit refined to the current Joy-Con. If you compare it, you can kind of, you know, tell it does look refined. The buttons seem to be maybe kind of a little bit more rounded from what I can tell. I feel like they're a little bit more kind of straight edged on the current Joy-Con, and on these, they look a little bit more kind of rounded off. Again, we can't really see. We're getting sort of like a side profile of this thing. And again, is this real? I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt, but I thought it was interesting to mention nonetheless. But you guys let me know in the comments below. Do you think these things are real? And, you know, if so, what do you think? I mean, like I said, for the most part, it looks super similar to what we got right now. Just the SL and the SR buttons are bigger, which is nice. And then, of course, like I said, the stick looks like it's refined, and the buttons, the face buttons look like they're kind of more rounded. And of course, we have that big, gigantic, kind of chunky sort of, you know, that chunky sort of button on the back that I guess is the new release button potentially, that kind of goes weird because it sort of goes into where the trigger would be. So again, I don't know how that works either. It doesn't make sense in my head, you know, just off the top of my head. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below, and if there's any other kind of leaks worth mentioning, I'll let you guys know here on the channel. But otherwise, I think we're all at this point just ready for Nintendo to officially announce something, and I'm hoping it's sooner than later. Nobody knows when. You know, my guess would be, you know, sometimes have a Nintendo Direct in February, so that's a possibility. But right now, I mean, we just really don't know. So time will tell. But keep it locked for more. And until the next one, game on. We'll see you guys soon.